guys, happy Thursday. Araya Anra, the Dragon Lady, coming to you live here and for the love of dragons. And just a heads up, I came on sort of was feeling calm on the end of the week. So it is not such a long period before you see me again. It'll be about 2 weeks as I am off next week. I am going to explore the redwoods and the Northern California beauty and see what dragons might be out there. So I may or may not pop on if I have an opportunity while I'm gone. So if you don't see me next week, don't panic. I will be back and have lots to share, I'm sure, or more questions to answer, or be prepping us for the solstice energy coming the following week after that. We're getting close to it, and we are getting some really big energies working. I've had a lot of opaline, fire and black fire, opal, rainbow energies, a lot of that diamond rainbow iridescence around. So I know we're prepping for some big pieces coming on the solstice, and I'm super excited because I will be recording my segment or contribution to the Dragon Thunder Summit on that solstice day, and then it will be shared July 2nd. So watch for the posts for the Dragon Thunder Summit on July 2nd. I think they have 27 speakers now. I was sort of surprised. I don't know if he's really just letting anybody come speak, or if they really all have stuff to do with dragons. Some of them, I've seen the list and thought, they're not really a dragon necessarily, but maybe they have some beautiful stuff to share. So it's going to be an amazing gathering of, actually, I think 9 hours of live speakers and a whole library of recorded speakers with stuff to share. And I know that mine, because it's on the solstice, is going to have a transmission in it. I scheduled that particularly. It's what the dragons led me to. And it was like opened up, available for both of us. And I'm just really looking forward to what that's going to be, because I know that it's connected to a transmission of energy for whatever is coming. Super excited. So watch for that. Register for it. It's all free. And a lot of the speakers are offering different gifts or things that are available through their site that, might be a new opening for you. Might be a new access point, or, a way to get connected with some other dragon family, which is why we're here. We are here in this group to share. I've noticed a lot of the posts lately are about beautiful jewelry or art pieces, or funny clips about dragons. Those always make us laugh. But I want to remind everybody that the group is really about your dragon journey, your journey with the dragons, the experiences you're having with them, so that you can share and help others that are new to the group, that are seeking information, because they can find dragon jewelry and art and clothing and all that stuff in a lot of groups. But this one is particularly formed, and we've been around for 5 years, growing organically, by those that are searching for a family of supports to understand what's happening. You've got experiences coming through, there's dragons showing up, you don't know what the heck it's about, you've got questions, and so this group is really meant to be focused on that and having a sharing platform, so that when you come in and you have this experience, you actually can realize you're not crazy, you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of us that are here to say, yep, I've had that too, or wow, that sounds similar to this happened to me. So I encourage that kind of sharing in the group to be a little more prevalent than the other, even though, we all love to see beautiful dragon things, and it's nice to know a source point for some of those. I'll just, as a reminder, all the ones that I share are available in the lair. So dragonwithin.com/lair, LAIR. That's where you're going to find the Oracle deck, Divining with the Dragons. Award-winning, I might add. We got the runner-up for the Carta Awards last year for Best Debut Artist. Love what Nicholas Alejandro Pena has done for this deck. So divinely led to him, and what a great teamwork to give him exactly what I was looking for energetically, and he could match it and then tweak it and get it just how I wanted him. So the stone pendants, the artwork, I'm probably going to be doing a sale here coming up, maybe for the solstice, for a couple weeks or something, because there's some pieces I still have of these that are, like the black and white the power of the energy of the cards that you feel, if there's specific ones that are consistently part of your field or you want that energy around you, having them on the wall is just amazing. I walk in this room and I have over half the deck on the wall as canvas prints, and they just are potent energetically to step into and hold that space for you. So anyway, let's get into questions for this week. George wrote in some more. Love when he's really like deeply contemplating things or noticing things. And so he has 2 questions, and we'll dive into the first one. It's about dragon eggs. And he says, I keep coming across more and more the topic of golden dragon eggs. And I'm wondering about the significance and relevance at these times. What is that about? And I'm just going to make sure that my volume is all the way up. I do. Yeah, I've been really good lately. Have you guys noticed? Always have the microphone in, always have the internet on for a stronger signal, and always have my volume up. So feel like I finally got out of that rut of always forgetting something and the sound quality not being fabulous, maybe last year or so. So what are the significance of the dragon eggs? And so you guys might have noticed, I have definitely heard from a lot more people about more dragon eggs, whether they're golden or not. They can be different colors, they can be gemstones, they can be any kind of egg, but he's been noticing golden dragon eggs. So what's the significance of more and more dragon eggs showing up, and why do the dragon eggs show up? So there's a couple different aspects about dragon eggs to pay attention to. Some of you are what might be like caregiver dragons, or those that maybe worked in other realms as the nanny, the caretaker, the creche holder in a rookery, a nursery of dragons. So you are naturally already knowledgeable, a master at incubating or working with those dragon eggs to bring them out into a vibration where they're there for an experience. So they might be coming into your field because of that. You might have specific grid work capacities that dragon eggs are being dropped in your field or shown to you that you either need to incubate in like where you're at, or that you may have to deliver eggs. That I know people that have had eggs and been told that they need to deliver them and energetically implant them in specific places around the world. That has to do with grid work. When you have dragon eggs come into your field and those 2 don't apply, why would dragon eggs show up versus a dragon guide? Can you guys feel the difference between the energetic of a dragon guide in his full mastery stepping forward to show you some stuff, get you aligned with some things, like your guide and guardian, bringing things across your path, getting you matched up synchronously with certain events or people? And that's more of an external, even though it's in your energy field, and it's an external guidance system that is there to support you. But what would it be like if you had a dragon egg actually popped into your field, whether it's in your home, in your backyard, maybe just given to you in meditation, maybe you feel it coming up out of your womb space. I've had that happen for people where it's coming out of them physically. And looking at that interaction with dragon energy, it's coming in its birthing form. It's coming in more directly inside your field in a way that's going to have a different effect energetically than an external guide. It could be more of an indicator of a part of you that's ready to actually be accessed in this realm, and this is the way to bring it forward vibrationally. So for him, he's seen golden dragon eggs. What is the golden dragon about? Because remember in the book, like, look at your lineages. The golden dragon is based in Orion, about power. It's the power lineage. So if you have golden dragon eggs consistently popping up, there's something about you coming into your power, accessing or activating, birthing it, having assistance to do that, to step into that, or that power frequency needing to be implanted somewhere. If you are the incubator of that egg, helping bring that into that part of the power grid, that frequency bandwidth with the power dragon, the golden dragon, from the 5th dimensional frequency, which is that from Orion. So you can see there's a lot of different parameters with eggs. And really allowing your own guidance system. And, if you have questions, you can always reach out, email me, or do a mini, like a 20-minute reading. They're called dragon readings, but we could focus on eggs. If you've got that coming in, you want to know specifically, why is this here? What's it doing? Or what am I supposed to do with it? That kind of thing can be done in a short reading. So you really need to listen to your heart and your gut and focus on, all right, here's this egg. What's the bigger picture of it? What is the dynamic energy field of it? What is its vibration? Is it a color? Is it a specific lineage? What does that lineage focus on? What are they heart-centered, like heart lineage, clearing the bodies? Are they, a crystal lineage? What is their main focus? And if you're not sure what those are, like what are their characteristics, personality-wise, and what are the things they bring vibrationally to help us with? That's the tool where your deck and your book are really going to help you out. There's more in the deck itself. There's 44 cards, and let's see, 42 of them are actually different dragons. So we do have the Metatron's Cube, the Eye of the Dragon, and the Womb Dragon. But the others are specific lineage, and they talk about their characteristics and what they help you see, feel, work through, integrate. So having an insight from that, if you tie it to the kind of eggs you're being exposed to or are dropping in your field, that will give you some more insight to follow through on, okay, what does this really mean? What is this about? And maybe you're just supposed to sit with it for a while and let it incubate and hatch and see that. Hi, Teresa. I'm seeing some messages here scrolling by, so good to see everybody. So if you've got those eggs, really, really honing in, paying attention to what kind of eggs they are, what is your position or role with it, how are they showing up for you, is an aspect of yourself. If it's birthed inside of you and you're not an incubator or caretaker, and that role can be either inside of you or outside of you, if it's inside of you, what aspect of yourself is it that is trying to show you is ready to birth? Because if the dragons are speaking to you and you read that language and you hear that language and you can connect with it, you're going to respond to a dragon egg more than any other thing. And by focusing on the path of energy that dragon egg is representing, that might be a way that your guides are getting you to see what they're really trying to work with you on. So take those clues. That's how we get our information, and follow the breadcrumbs, getting deeper with it. So that said, I love when those show up to be implanted in the grid work. I have many Dragonheart friends that have that aspect to do, and I know I have grid work to do globally to start up again. That is a different kind. It's not implanting the dragon eggs itself, but working more with the larger grid pieces. So we all have our different roles. And I don't actually receive dragon eggs, but a lot of my circle do. There's a reason we have different roles. We have different dharmic purpose here. Just allowing. And there is definitely an uptick. So what is the uptick in dragon eggs? What is that about? And that relates a little bit more to his second question. So I'm going to read that. He says, do dragons come from higher dimensions and, quote, visit Earth in, quote, adult or mature form, whether they're incarnate or not? Or do they always physically incarnate through dragon eggs? If both, what's the determining factor for their pathway to Earth? So for me, dragons, if they're not showing up incarnate, they're not coming in physically. They're coming in energetically. They will show up full mature form. That's almost all the ones that I work with are here. They don't need to come through an egg. They're just here ready to work with you from a higher vibrational plane. When they actually come physically into the earth plane, what are they doing? How do we see them in the trees, the clouds, the rivers, the bushes? In the mountains, when we experience them, they are making themselves visible. They are actually pushing through the ethers, using the elemental fabric to reach you, to get you a message. That's as close as they're going to come to incarnation, coming that way, fully formed, fully mature, in through the vibrational field. If they want to be involved in a direct way, differently, like, as I said, like coming in through your field, more directly, tangibly, in your energy field, then external like a guide. They may come through an egg. But he also mentioned in his question, incarnate physically on the planet. I know that we have had dragons on this planet over multiple civilizations. I know that they disappeared even in fairly modern times because they were hunted, they were no longer received. Many of them, like in Asia, I had that experience that I've shared when I walked into the Imperial Palace. I had all this memory flooding back of the dragons being the consultants to the emperor. They were the inner court. Whether they were still in dragon form or had actually chosen a human body, they were part of the emperor's inner circle. And as soon as the emperor line stopped being loving in their actions, being in service to their people, and taking care of everyone before themselves, when it started to get more greed, selfish control, all that, the dragons laid down the line and said, we will no longer be your advisors. We will no longer support your reign. We will no longer be here with the energy we bring that maintains your empire. We will be gone. And they sunk into the ground and they disappeared. And that was a piece that I brought all the dragons back up, and the emperor still had an opportunity. He was through time and space was being given an emperor an opportunity to shift his choice point, and he didn't. So all that to say, they have been physically incarnated on the planet. So did they all come through eggs? Many of them did. But early on, before there were eggs in the right environment for that, and birthing, so if they're being birthed from a dragon, they would come through an egg, just like any other life form. But I had an experience that I was reminded of by this question when I was in Egypt. And I forget the name of the place. It was like an underground place where there were, I want to say, 42 sarcophagi. And they claimed that they were sarcophagi of bulls, where they buried the bulls. I'm like, okay, I didn't really understand that. But all of us in the dragon group that were there were several that came to me after and said, I had this different experience. And I said, well, me too. We were actually there experiencing, touching the sarcophagi and feeling these massive incubation chambers where they were a portal, like a teleportation chamber. They were an intergalactic portal that the sarcophagus was being used for these dragon energies to come up into this realm and actually be enclosed within it to get vibrationally matched elementally to have a body. And then as soon as the body was ready, there were guardians within this chamber that would slide the lid off, release them, let them go out into the world, and then close it up again to bring in the next round. It was really, really fascinating to have that legacy of information come through the stones as we were touching the sarcophagi. So that's another way of, all right, how can they incarnate into this planet? There are portals, though there have been chambers underground, probably within mountains. For some reason, that's coming in. I'm getting visuals of these massive cave chambers inside mountains. They're probably connected, for some reason I'm being shown they're connected to the cities of light. So I have seen, for example, in Telos, under Shasta, it's the interdimensional city of light, where there's a inner sanctum temple, and there's these 12 dragon statues, and they're like crystallized in stone, and they will actually be coming back to life as they reconnect vibrationally to us on surface Earth, like our dimensional platform. So as they reconnect and they're not closed off anymore, those will actually come back to life. But also in those chambers, they are like the other end of the intergalactic portal, that the dragons can go in through those cities of light, and there are connector tunnels and portals for them to actually take physical form. So that may be a way that they actually come physically back into form on surface Earth, again, in this dimension as it keeps expanding, when we're really ready to receive them and live in harmony with them and not hunt and not fear and not all the other craziness that has gone on in the past. So that's a piece of his question that really hit me, of like, he did use the words incarnating physically in his question, and he may not have realized it at the time, but that's how it came through. So those bits of information wanted to be shared. So what else on his question? Obviously, they don't always have to incarnate physically through dragon eggs. There's these intergalactic portal chambers that they can use. But if it is a matter of like when the dragons were living here and they would breed just like other species and there would be dragon eggs, do I believe and feel the truth in dragon eggs actually also being able to be dropped off through whatever intergalactic portals or left in the side of a mountain in a cave? I do. And experience and expansion will show us if we're ready to perceive those. I do, just like I believe there are higher dimensional or interdimensional beings that are moving around these dimensional spaces. All in and around us is actually quite crowded in a lot of places. I do believe all those beings, like the dragons, are also in those spaces. And it's just a matter of time, as we're still operating in time, more and more we're out of that. That the more we're pulled out of the time-space continuum, or the functional reality that we accepted as a structure of 3D, as that shifts, and our definition of that reality shifts, and we allow ourselves to open to something greater, we will start perceiving. And that's why all of you are having more and more experiences with dragon eggs, with interdimensional dragons, with these things being around us. It's why so many are waking up to it. We're really getting to that access point. So that's super exciting for me on our journey. And George, I hope I answered your questions. If this begged other questions from others of you, please reach out. Send me an email or comment on the video today, or an instant message, something to get it to me so that we can do this and get your questions answered on another live. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. If this, as I said, brought up more questions, just even in the discussion today, post them in the comments. I do read through those, and we'll pick it up on another week and keep the discussion going. So remember, I'm off next week. I'm going to be out enjoying and exploring and being in harmony with nature, getting to hug some giant trees. Really excited about that. And I will see you guys in roughly 2 weeks. So have a great one. I will see you then. And giant dragon hugs and much love from this dragon to all of you. Bye for now.